Did you know that 6,000 women every day are entering menopause? Yet so many of us don't like to talk about this, but this has to change, and you can see that it's changing right now. We've got Halle Berry on the podium talking about menopause and many others. They also say women of color are more likely to transition into menopause earlier and experience a longer menopause transition and stronger symptoms. That don't sound good for us, does it? No. Look, I'm 46, and at this point, I can definitely feel that my body is changing. I am for sure in this little perimenopause dance phase. We're going to talk about 10 habits for us women over 40 to embrace, whether you're in perimenopause or menopause, because let's keep it real, we want to keep it glowing, energized, and we want to feel unstoppable. I am Erica. I am a health coach, and I am here for my 40 plus girls to help us navigate this whole wild hormonal change period. I have been in the wellness space for over 20 years, and it's my mission now to help women embrace this phase of life and feel our absolute best inside and out. If living your healthiest life matters to you, then tap that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my next videos. Let's jump into it. Listen to your body's needs. Our bodies are shifting gears, and it's okay. What's important is tuning in to what your body needs right now and not trying to stick to what you were doing when you were in your 20s or 30s. When I was back in my 20s, I was just started off personal training clients. I was given tons of classes. My body was asking for food constantly. Every 2-3 hours, it needed food. Once I had children, all that changed, and I observed that my body did not crave food in the way that it did in the past. And with that, I started getting in tune to my body more, and doing that helped me to balance out my weight better. Then on those mornings where my body didn't ask for breakfast, I said, okay, let me do a little intermittent fasting type deal. And I can skip breakfast because my body wasn't asking for it. But on the mornings that it was, I made sure I started with a strong breakfast. Other thing that I realized in my body and I got in tune with is prioritizing protein. We need to prioritize protein with all of our meals. If I eat something that's just only carbs, in 15 minutes, I'm ready to eat again. If I take something like a lean chicken or beef with whatever I'm eating, it changes the game. My body stays full longer. Your body is going to tell you what's working for you. Pay attention to your energy levels, your mood, and digestion. They are your best indicators. Make sleep a non-negotiable. Look, sleep is the cornerstone of everything. And I know you're going to say, I'm going through this phase and it's impossible. You know, these hormones got me going a little bit cray-cray. Sleep will change the game for you. And there's little things that you can do to help the process. One thing that I realized as I entered this period is that my body is sensitive to temperature. Research already shows that people sleep better in a cooler room. So they say something around 68 to 69 degrees, and that tends to work for me too. So I bring that temperature down so I can just chill out and just feel a little bit cozier under those covers. The second thing, and you know this already, we got to shut those devices off. That scrolling, just a little dopamine boost, it's got that, getting that energy, that energy pumping. Bring that down a notch. Once you know that time that you have set for bed, an hour before that, no more scrolling. So that way you can bring yourself to a calm state and be able to sleep more peacefully through the night. Other thing that I do is I supplement with magnesium in 2 ways. I've got my magnesium calm supplement that I take, but also magnesium flakes. So I have this spray, I rub it on my feet, get it all in there right before I go to bed. And it seems to help soothe me during my sleep as well. Why does all this sleep stuff matters? Well, listen, sleep is when your body repairs itself. It resets your mind, and it also helps in rebalancing those hormones. Without it, you notice already, everything just feels harder. Rethink alcohol. This one is going to sting just a little bit because I know nobody likes to hear about it, but I know if you've been scrolling on your Instagram, you have seen some of the data that's coming out about drinking. And At the end of the day, that research shows that drinking is not our best friend. I will give you my story of how I reduced alcohol. Now, I was a bit unlucky in the fact that I have food allergies, and two of those allergies are related to alcohol: sulfites and barley. So there's no beer or kombucha even for me. And also wines, that's out the door. Also, with having three pregnancies, not really back to back to back, but those three pregnancies and long breastfeeding periods that I had, it really helped me to step back from alcohol. And during those periods, I realized, oh, well, I can still be fly without it, because I used to think that I needed those drinks to be able to be that girl that dances on tables. I am still that girl dancing on tables, but without the alcohol. And the beautiful thing now I've realized too is without the alcohol, I'm more present in the experiences and the conversations that I'm having during these social outings. What I noticed is during the times that I actually tried to incorporate back in having a couple of cocktails, immediately my body said, those were evenings that I'd end up having like night sweats, and I'd wake up feeling really groggy. It just shows that digestively, alcohol is a toxin. I know we don't want to hear it, but it is. Whatever you can do to just start reevaluating your relationship with it. I'm not being a party pooper, y'all. I'm not saying to stop completely, but just start realizing how it truly affects your body. Get in those 10,000 steps. Okay, you are probably tired of hearing 10,000 steps, 10,000 steps, but more or less, it is just saying, get off your booty and move. Many of us sedentary jobs, and that really leaves us with stiff joints, ski hips, and affects our mobility. So when it comes to 10,000 steps, first of all, you got little things you can do. You can park far away in a parking lot, take stairs, all those little things that you've heard from my people who work in the office. Maybe your company actually allows you to have an ergonomic desk that's a standing desk. That is an option. If you're working at home and you're able to, then most certainly have a standing desk with a walking pad. You would be amazed how many steps that you can get in just from an hour and a half of just typing and doing your thing, reading on the computer. Those 10,000 steps are not just about walk. It's just about movement in general. Find things that you enjoy. Maybe it's swimming, maybe it's bicycling, maybe it's a little bit of tennis, but you have to find what works for you. We do need to make sure that on a daily basis, we're not just sitting down all day long. Hydrate inside and out. We cannot afford to be walking around ashy, girls, but moisturizing and hydrating is a two-part process. Not only is it about our creams, but it's also about drinking water. For my outside, I love my DIY creams. I like to keep it natural. I do like a little cocoa butter and shea butter and mix it all up myself and dribble in a little vanilla. It's nice and creamy and keeps me soft. It's wonderful. But from the inside, I am every day on top of my water. I got my 32-ounce little insulated bottle. I try to make sure to drink about 2 or 3 of those a day. You can see a huge difference that water makes in your skin. Drinking enough is going to improve your skin's elasticity and radiance. Prioritize hormone-friendly foods. What you eat matters, sis. We need to abandon these processed foods. And I know you're like, what is a processed food, girl? It's the stuff that just come in a box that if you look at it, most of the ingredients, you don't even know what it is because you're like, wooza, wooza, wooza? Yeah, come on now. We need to be shopping. They always say shop the aisle of the store. Keep it simple. You got your meats, you got your vegetables, and you got your good grains. Once you start adding in these special protein cereals, protein bars, this and that, now I'm not saying it's bad, but you want the majority of your diet coming from whole foods, because those macro and micronutrients inside of it is what helps to nourish your body and keep you glowing. Another thing that we have to start thinking about is our gut health. I can tell you, I realized I had gotten a little bit older because in my last checkup, she told me it was time to get a colonoscopy. I said, Ain't that something that my mama be doing? But look, it is all about going, you know what? We got to make sure that that bacteria and them intestines are doing what they need to do. Now, with your gut bacteria, this is the time to start leaning into those fermented foods. And you're like, fermented what? This is, if you heard of kimchi, yes. Sauerkraut, we all done heard about sauerkraut, putting that on a hot dog. Now, I'm not saying to eat a hot dog because we know that ain't the best food, but incorporating that sauerkraut into some nice and more natural foods. On top of that, our good yogurts. Feed your body some good bacteria. Not only are you going to see good digestion, but it will affect your mood. Build a community of support. It's interesting to hear that 80% of women experience menopausal symptoms, but only a fraction of us actually talk about it. That's why we need spaces like this where we can support and uplift each other. Menopause is not something to be ashamed of. It is a natural, powerful phase of life. So I encourage you to find your tribe, whether it's a girlfriend or sisters or online community, because we need a space that we can talk about all this stuff and just remember that we're not alone. Protect your muscle mass. After 40, we actually start losing 1 to 2% of our muscle mass per year. To protect this, there's 2 things that we can do: strength training and prioritizing protein in our diets. When it comes to strength training, I'm not telling you to go out there and just be pumping like crazy, because let's be real, some of us might be coming from nothing. So why are we gonna go from 0 to 1,000? What you can be doing is incorporating more body weight exercises, Pilates, starting there, starting easy. And then in terms of incorporating protein, it's just starting to make it the star of your meals. So each meal you have every day, if I start a meal, I'm like, okay, where's my protein? Where's my protein first? Then I build everything else around it. Why does this muscle mass matter? It keeps your metabolism humming, it supports your bones, and it helps you look toned and strong. And I don't know about some of you guys, but listen, I'm one of those moms that I am super proud of being a mama, but at the same time, I don't want to look like a mama. I think you know what I mean. This is a good reason to make sure that we are fueling our bodies and moving it in ways to keep us looking and feeling healthy inside. Embrace joyful movement. We've talked about those 10,000 steps and strength training, but most important is for you to lean into stuff you like, just plain and simple. So you can see all, again, these crazy workouts and things, but if you don't like it, you're not gonna stick to it. I encourage you, find what fits for you and even your family. I have been able to find joy in movement by doing things that I enjoy with my kids, whether it's rollerblading, biking. Just recently, I got us some of them pickleball paddles, so we do that. That's one thing. And then for myself, I know I just enjoy walks. It works for me, but you have to do you. Do you, boo, okay? Don't do what someone else has told you and said, well, this is your only way of getting fit. Movement has to fit you, whether it's swimming or the tennis, whatever else, maybe rowing, I don't know, but whatever you enjoy. Movement is not just about losing weight. Movement helps us in reducing those stress hormones. This is all about balancing out our bodies. Be your own advocate. Listen to your body. Nobody knows you better than you. If you feel that something's off, don't brush it aside. Advocate for yourself. Whether it's asking your doctor for hormone therapy, tweaking your diet, taking more rest days, trust your instincts and fight for what you need. This phase is not the end. It is a new beginning. Let's take this journey together. Drop me a comment below and let me know, what habit are you going to start today? I will see you over in the next video.